Well, welcome back once again to the railway table. If you were expecting to see progress, again I'm afraid you're out of luck, but I'm not going to subject you to another 10-15 minutes of me rabbiting on. Excuse me. I'll make it up to you a bit this week with not one but two unboxings. But we'll get to that in a minute. Now, you remember I was saying, and here we are, that what I needed on the line going into the bay was a curved right hand point. And so I went on a certain well-known auction site, try and get myself a reasonably priced right hand curved point. And I found one, and in the photographs the curve looked about right. So I paid just a few pounds, not very much, and I bought it. And when it arrived, I got this. Now, as you can see, it isn't very curved, is it? Here is a curved piece of rail, and here I'm going to put the point over the curve, and you'll see the line going off is on the curve, but not the one that I want to be, the main line. So I'm on the hunt. There are one or two I've noticed available where there's a much more of a curve on the main line, and that is really what I want, because as you'll see, if I try and fit that in there like that, which is what I'm going to end up colliding with the main lines, and I don't want to do that. So this will be used. It will be used. But what I really want is something that, if I put this larger, I'll just put this larger curve on here for now, just to demonstrate. I want something that's going to come off like that. Or should I say something shorter, so as it comes off, the main line is the longer one going round the corner, and then I can put this one in. And so one part of that will go to an engine shed, and the other part will go into the goods shed. So I can't really start any serious work until I'm satisfied that I've got all the bits and pieces of track and that I need, and I certainly haven't yet. Anyway, I won't bore you with any more. The trials and tribulations of building a model railway, eh? Doesn't always go to plan, and to be honest, at the moment, now I'm back at the railway, and I'm very shortly going to be back there 2 days a week to the end of October, my time on the railway layout is going to be limited for the summer, but I'll do my best to try and get something out once a fortnight, even if it's not very much. So, let's have a look and see what's in the box for you today. Now, you've seen quite a few of my diesel multiple units and diesel rail buses. One of the main pioneers of diesel rail cars was the Great Western Railway. And in the 30s, then up to the early 40s, they produced no less than 4 designs of rail car, affectionately known as flying bananas. The original ones were very, very streamlined with nice rounded fronts, and one or two of them were slightly longer, and they had what they called they were the Twin Cities units with 2 coats of arms on them, and they were designed for higher speed, longer distance runs. But the standard rail cars, they were capable of 60 miles an hour. I've just seen this is DCC ready. I don't think I'll put a chip in it. I'm not sure that I know how to be quite honest. One of the reasons why I'm going to show you this is because there are actually only two, to the best of my knowledge, that have been preserved in any semblance of working order. W22W, I believe, is at Didcot, and this is unfortunately a model of W22W. I say unfortunately because on the Kent-East-Sussex Railway, one of the first items to arrive back in the mid-60s was W20W, which over the last few years we have been completely rebuilding and should be back on the tracks very soon. But I always felt these look quite nice. Okay, chocolate and cream, Great Western, it's a nice livery. But as far as British Railways is concerned, these went through green and a horrible sort of dull reddy colour, and some of them emerged in blood and custard, carmine and cream. And I think this is a rather nice colour. So without further ado, it comes with various bits and pieces. That looks like something to do with DCC, though do not operate the unit without the insulation sleeve. Right, it isn't DCC, it's got no chip in it. No idea. Do you know, I'm having a think here, and I'm wondering if I might be able to put my diesel multiple unit sound thing in here. I won't do that today, but I might have a go. In the meantime, let's get it on the track so you can see it running. Well, here's the rail car, and let's give it a couple of spins for you. Get it going, it seems to work quite well. Yeah, let's bring it to a gentle walk. It's a very basic model, to be fair. But hey ho, you don't always need all the bells and whistles, I don't think. It's true, a lot of the models I do buy now have got bells and whistles on them, but I'm not one of these that's got to have every model with bells and whistles on it. And so let's have a look and see if we can get it going the other way. There we go. Very smooth. Apart from stopping. So that's that one. And now we'll take a look at the O2, shall we? Now, you've heard me talk about my my thing about diesel hydraulics, and I've wanted to make sure that I've got models of all the diesel hydraulics that worked on British railways. And I've got obviously the Teddy Bear, the Class 14, the Clayton, the Class 17, and I've got the High Met Class 35, the Warship Class 42, and the Western Class 52. But there was always one that nobody wanted to seem to bring out, and that was this one. As far as I know, this is the only British Railways diesel hydraulic that I hadn't yet got in my collection, but no doubt somebody will correct me if I've missed one. The Class 02 shunter, built by the Yorkshire Engineering Company. Now, you might remember when I showed you the 07, I said that that was built to replace the USA tanks in Southampton docks because they needed something with a very small wheelbase to go around tight curves. Now, up in the northwest, around Liverpool and Manchester, this job was being done by the old Lancashire and Yorkshire pug steam locomotives. And of course, by the 50s, they were all getting very long in the tooth and needed replacing. So British Rail gave the Yorkshire Engineering Company an order for 20 very, very small shunting locos. And they came up with the Class 02. There we are, and there's a picture of it there. They built 20 of these between 1960 and 61. Although by that time, even the work in the docks had started to die out with transition to road transport. So virtually all of them had gone by 1972, and the last 4 had gone by 75. Some of them went into private ownership, and some of them lasted until the 80s. There is a very small number preserved, 6 or 7, something like that as far as I know, but only one, to the best of my knowledge, is in working order, and that's at the National Rail Museum in York. Well, it might be in York, it might be in Shildon, not sure which one it is, but that's used for shunting stock. So I have been waiting 4 years for this model. Heldon first announced it 4 years or more ago, and I pre-ordered it then, and I have been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. Finally, here it is. Hopefully it will run first time. This is not DCC fitted. At the time that I bought it, well, at the time that I put my deposit on it, it wasn't available. Well, I ordered it from Hatton's originally, and of course Hatton's has now gone by the wayside, and my pre-orders were transferred to Rails of Sheffield. But Hatton's at the time, bless them, they sent me the DCC chip. Otherwise, hopefully, if it all come at the same time, they could have fitted it for me, but there you go, they didn't. So now I've got it, and hopefully I can fit it myself. So let's get it out of this clamshell. What have we got here? We've got a few bits and pieces, different couplings if you want to put different couplings on it. But there's this. Oh, it's fitted. Oh, it's kept on there with a piece of tape. Okay. There's this magnetic wand. It's supposed to be for turning lights on and off. Let's have a look and see all these instructions, you know. It's supposed to be easy to fit. Right. Light functions. Cab lights can be switched on and off using the magnetic wand supplied. Okay. That's fine, but it doesn't tell you where to use the magnetic wand. This could be interesting. Anyway, let's undo it. Can you see what I'm doing? Yep, okay. I hate these things. Now, one feature which you will notice as I take it out of the clamshell and unwrap it, is literally how tiny this thing is. Look at that. Believe it or not, you could turn one of these on a wagon turntable. But the unique thing is, they're the only locomotives to run on British railways with a rear veranda for safe access into the cab. This followed the practice, of course, of the North American switchers. So I've only really got one loco smaller than this, and that was my little Ruston 48, which I think I've shown you before. Now then, I have no idea where you use this magnetic thing. Oh well, trial and error. Anyway, let's see if it works. Well, here it is, tiny little thing. I seem to have managed to switch something on. There's a couple of little tiny lights as it moves, but anyway, here we go. Little hesitant, but she'll go. I can't say that whine sounds like a diesel hydraulic, but it's an interesting sound. Now let's give her a go the other way, shall we? There we are. I'm very pleased with this one. To say it's the last diesel hydraulic that I needed for my collection. Has it been worth the wait? Yes, I think it probably has. So anyway, we will see you again in a fortnight, and hopefully there may have been a bit more progress by that time. But I would ask for your understanding because I've got so many other things on at the moment, I'm not able to make as much progress on this as I would want. But I'll try and bring you something each fortnight. So take care of yourselves and see you soon.